Namaskar, my dear friends. Let us design and simulate boost converter in NI Multisim. So what we'll do is, you can see this is a very basic circuit of boost converter where we have input voltage, we have inductor, diode, and this switching element can be a MOSFET, okay? And we have the output capacitor and load resistors. So as you can see, this is going to give us the output expression V out is equal to V input into 1 by 1 minus duty cycle. And based on that, we will be getting the output voltage uh, which is depending on the duty cycle of this particular output. So now we are going to do one thing. Let us design one circuit which will be giving us, let us say this is the boost converter that we have designed in NI Multisim, and we are going to set the output to be closer to 10 volt. Okay. So how do we do that? For that, we need to do a simple calculation and then we will proceed to design and simulate this particular circuit. So what we'll do, let us set that input voltage is 5 volt, output voltage is 10 volt, and let us say we are going to put the switching frequency of the element to be 50 kilohertz. So from there we can get very easily what is the time period of that 1 by f, that is going to be 1 by 50 kilohertz, which is going to be 20 microsecond. Now as we know the boost converter, we have the boost converter. The output voltage is going to be V input into 1 by 1 minus D, where D is the duty cycle. So we'll try to substitute the value of V out and V in to get the value of D, that is duty cycle, which is going to be how much? 10 by 5, that is 2. So 2 equal to 1 by 1 minus D. Then 1 by 1 minus D will be 1 by 2, that is going to be 0.5. And this is how D will be equal to 1 minus 0.5, that will be 50%. So my duty cycle requirement is 50% to set the input voltage 5 volt to output voltage 10 volt. And based on the frequency of switching element, we are going to set that what is the on time and off time. So as you can see, my duty cycle is nothing but on time by total time period, which will be 0.5 50%. So that is going to give us T on time equal to 0.5 T, which is going to be 10 microsecond. So with these informations, we'll try to put the values in the schematic and try to design and simulate. So let us open NI Multisim, and as you can see, as you can see, we have this particular, like a circuit designed already. Let us say we have input voltage, we have inductor, we have one Schottky diode I have put, and then we have the power MOSFET element here. And then we are going to have the output capacitor and output load. So let us go and simulate and analyze and simulation, and let us do a transient simulation for 5 millisecond I am going to do, and let us run it. So as you can see, my green signal, which is my voltage probe 2, which is ramping up in the beginning and then it is coming down. So this is kind of like overshoot, undershoot, and then after some time it will get settled around the output voltage required. So it should settle to 10 volt. However, let's see what happens. It may deviate a little based on the design equations or design calculation that you are going to do and the constraints on the like elements that we are simulating. Okay. Alright, so I think now we are able to see this particular circuit, that it is going to settle at around 9.6 volt or 7 volt. Alright, so why don't we do one thing? This particular circuit we will design quickly and see how to get different values as well. Okay, so let us open a new design so that you can also understand and simulate by yourself. So create a new page, blank, create. Now what are the things that we need? Go to place components, and then I will go to put a source, let's say power source. Okay, let us say we need like DC power. So DC power at the input we will be putting. Then we need several grounds. So let us say two grounds will put, one ground here and one more ground at this element. Then we need a signal voltage source which will be acting as a like pulse voltage, which will enable and disable the MOSFET gate, right? So we will need one source. Then what do we need? We will require some basic elements like inductor, capacitors and all. So let us say, if you want, you can say, check any values, and this is going to be very critical because I am not calculating any value for inductor and capacitor. So that's the reason I am taking a random value for right now. Otherwise, what you can do is you can do by yourself an actual calculation. Okay. So let me reduce the value of, like inductor to be, let us say, 110 microhenry. So I am going to put a 110 microhenry. Now coming back to the capacitor, let us say I'm going to put electrolytic capacitor. So electrolytic capacitor is here, and if you want, you can increase it to, let us say, 150 microhenry, or let us say 100. Press a Control R to rotate it, and then put a resistor ohm. So resistive ohm, it will be, let us say, 10 ohm I am going to put. Now what is the last element that we need? So we will require the diode, like switching diode. So let us say, go to diode, Schottky diode I can take. If you want, you can take switching diode, Jenner diode, so many diodes are there. And you can always see the functions. You can see we have 45 volt and 10 ampere. So you must understand like what will be the maximum current that it will be flowing across this, and accordingly you have to select a MOSFET. So it's up to you like how much you are going to take. Okay. So this is 120, this is also 120, this is 35. So if you want, I can take it, let us say 35. Oh, we have two elements. So we'll take single elements. All right, let us stick to this 45 volt 120 ampere. Hmm. All right, so component placement is done. Component placement is done. Now our aim is to connect this particular circuit quickly. So you go to the tip of the pins and keep on clicking. So it will get connected, like it is kind of wiring up. Okay, that's all. So let me bring out the ground here, and you can see we have connected our circuit very nicely. Oh, we have forgotten to put the MOSFET so that it can switch on here, right? You saw there is a, like switch element here. So this switching element, it can be used as a MOSFET, right? So what we can do is we can put a MOSFET as well. So place components, go to transistors. In transistor, we have several kinds of MOSFET. So you can see enhancement type MOSFET, or, like a power MOSFET. So I'll take power MOSFETs, okay? If you want, you can take power MOSFET. I am going to take a rating of, let's say, 100 amperes. 100 amperes, let us say this one I'll take, okay? All right. So this particular element is going to switch at this location by this particular AC source. And this will be grounded. So it is done. So alright guys, my circuit is complete. Now what we'll do is we'll try to put a net name so that, like you can have a proper understanding of how to put net name as well. So let us select this net, right click it and put a V in. Now we can select this net as well and put properties and try to put V out so that you can have a proper understanding of where is my V input and where is my V output. Now we are going to do one thing. We are going to put a probe here. So let us say PR1 is my input probe and PR2 is my output voltage probe. So if you simply run it, you are going to see some random values. Okay. So you can see my output DC voltage is around, like 11 volt or something. So that doesn't matter. Now our aim is to set the duty cycle of this particular switching element, so that I'm going to change the source. So I'm going to change the source to 5 volt initial value, sorry, 0 volt to initial value, and 5 volt is my final value. And pulse width we had calculated to be 10 microsecond and 20 microsecond time period. So I'll put 10 microsecond, 20 microsecond. That's all. So my switching voltage, or this is kind of coming from a gate driver or something like that, so or microcontroller, so you can do that. Now the input voltage I am going to put 5 volt, and the output voltage will be expected to be close to 10 volts. So let us run it. So you can see my output voltage is actually switching, it is not giving you the result. So for that, what do you need to do? You need to set the simulation setting to be transient mode. Okay, so I'll go to transient mode. Let us set it for, like 5 millisecond, and then save it and let us run it. So as you can see, my output voltage is ramping up. Okay, I'll increase the trace width to be, like a little bit thicker. So it will give you a proper switching. So as you can see, it has gone to overshoot to more than 10 volt, and then it is coming back down to undershoot, and again it is trying to settle down. So let us see when it settles. Okay. All right. So this is my circuit, and this is the output that you can see. So alright guys, hope you have a good understanding of how to design the boost converter in multisim, or any circuit simulation is fine, not a problem at all. And this is the output curve that you are seeing. If you want to see the, like curve in other colors, you can put a black and white as well. So this is the black and white. If you want, you can keep it, like a sorry, white color background, or you want background color change to be, you can change it. Now why don't you do one thing? You put a probe here and you see what is the switching element here, right? So for that, I'll just take, let us say PR1, I'll take here. Okay, and I'll run it. So you can see my switching element is 0 to 5 volt, 0 to 5 volt, it is quickly running. So to see only the switching voltage, what you can do is you can simulate for little lesser time. So simulate for little lesser time, let us say go analyze. So the switching frequency is 50 kilohertz, right? So it will be 20 microsecond for one pulse. It means I am going to take 100 microseconds. So 100 U, that is 5 pulse I'll take. Okay, it is not taking into U, so I'll just put it 0001. That is 100 microsecond. Now let us run it. So you can see the switching element is 0 to 5 volt, 0 to 5 volt, up and down. This is how you check what is the value, or what is the node voltage that is needed. One more thing that we have not analyzed is what is the inductor current that is flowing through this particular element. So for that, I have just taken back my probe 1 at this input voltage, probe 2 at output voltage, and I am going to connect a emitter across this particular inductor. So for that, what do we do? It's very simple, right? You already know that I am going to select an emitter here, and then put a probe here, and let us quickly simulate this. So I'll just analyze and simulate for 5 milliseconds so that you can see the stabilized voltage. Okay, and let us run it. So the output current, the current through the inductor will also vary. You can see the current through inductor has started from around 16 to 17 amperes, 16 to 17 amperes. And if you want, I can just make this little width wider. You can see this is the inductor current that is varying, and this is the green color, which is the output voltage that is varying. Okay, so this was the circuit that you have already seen. Come on. Yes, so complete circuit is visible at the left side. Hmm? So you can see the variation of input, current through the inductor, which is varying close to, like 15 to 18 ampere. Okay, and the output voltage that is going to get stabilized closer to 10 volt. Okay, So alright guys, I hope you have a good understanding of how to design and simulate the boost converter in Multisim or any other circuit design simulator as well. You can do that, but this is one of the best that I have seen right now. Thank you.